New Earth AC was formed by divine guidance to help lift up humanity and raise the vibration of all. New Earth is a community that started as a Facebook group and has grown to become an online interactive platform for those seeking to uplift, empower, and co-create with one another. On top of uplifting and inspiring posts, we began to connect with our members on a more deeper level. We now regularly host what we call Unity Circles and live stream them on our YouTube channel. Each circle is hosted by a member who wishes to share their knowledge and gifts out to the world in hopes that they can make a difference in the lives of others. You can find these circles inside the New Earth AC Divine Ray store and on our YouTube channel. Please take whatever resonates and let the rest fall away. New Earth AC.
Hello. Happy ho-ho.
Hey, everybody.
I got my reindeer ears.
Are you having reindeer hangover from Christmas?
It's a little bit late. Actually, it was the only thing I had that was like Christmassy. And it was my son's. He had to use it for school. Like they have to wear uniforms over here in Ireland when you go to school. And so they had a thing right like 2 days before Christmas. They didn't have to wear their uniforms to school if they wore something Christmassy. So they had to wear something Christmassy and pay €2 towards like, I don't know, donation to people to help feed people for Christmas or whatever. And he wore the reindeer ears. So he didn't have to wear his uniform.
That's smart. Worth it.
Did he have to wear a reindeer mask? No, I'm just kidding.
I was looking for him to get like a different mask because they have to wear masks in school over here.
Yeah, no.
I was looking for a Christmas one, but there wasn't any for sale. So reindeer ears was what it was.
It's a mood point. It's a mood point for everybody. I didn't mean to bring it up. Sorry.
So we're having our special holiday show, our gratitude show to everybody that came on our show last year, and we're excited.
Yeah, what a year!
It's
what a
weird
year!
for me. I feel like so it's 2021 turning 2022, but I really feel like I lost a year in there somewhere. Like I don't know how that is. I feel like
it feels like it was like 2 years and crammed into 1 year.
Yeah,
it is.
Sure.
I actually
the year was 10 years long and 2 days long at the same time as well. Somehow.
When I was going through the footage, I was trying to like just pick out things that we did like for the year. And then I was like, that Dragon Week was really good. And it was at the end of last year. So I said we figured we started out with the Dragon Week. So basically what we do is we've got a few clips and stuff. So I'm just going to start it out. We're going to start it out with our Dragon Week. Unfortunately, David, I wasn't able to get that other video part on. It wouldn't work.
That's okay.
So we're going to keep us up and we're just going to commentate. And so we're going to just kind of do a year in review. So let's just start with this one.
We ended 2020 with the most powerful and exciting Dragon Week. We brought guests on every day, and the week was full of activations and astral travels into the Dragon Realm. Bonnie Burd started us off with a Meet Your Dragon Guide meditation, followed by David Starr taking us into the Dragon Realm and helping us harness our dragon power. Followed by special guests Nicola Russell, Madelena Morbey, and a special surprise by Alphedia Arara, who came on and channeled a special message from her dragon skull, Anka. The week ended with Jessie and Bonnie doing a special evening of Dragon Oracle card readings.
For Rainbow Bridge, so that they can come anytime you call their name. And they're going to whisper into your ear what their name is. And anytime you call them,
there she is. Bonnie's going with her circle.
They reside within your heart. They never leave you.
Earth grid codes are coming in for the Dragon Collective. It is, what is it? of the seventh dimensional frequency. It's a process of ascension. We're going to be going through these codes. You're going to give these codes when you're done here. Interesting. Okay.
To watch, that's fine too. Just be guided internally. The intention that we're actually connecting with is to integrate with the multidimensional aspect of self, and we are bringing in our dragon energy for integration across all time and space that will be there particularly for those fragmented aspects of soul, please. Thank you. Okay, some of the light language that will come through, just allow it to be heard from a place of observation rather than judgment. So allow the ego mind just to be released, please. So we're just going to bring that energy forward. We're just going to start, first of all, actually with the inner dragon, which sits just above the solar plexus. This is our inner power. This is our absolute power. This works across our multi-universe, which is the internal universe, which is the inner self. Which works
up.
I remember that last one.
King of Dragons. The King of Dragons is leading us. He's flying. He's leading us into a rainbow portal. He's flying into it. The King
David's
of the Dragons in front of us. Going through the
You really got to get into this.
Portal.
I'm like flying on a dragon
Here,
right now.
You're at the dragon's source.
Sorry.
At first, I thought he was frozen, but he was kind of stuck there.
We can level out now on our dragons.
Everybody was level except for me.
Okay, orange.
Okay, everybody, you can go level now.
Okay.
I was the only one that wasn't.
All right. There is dragon portal. Another portal.
Led to an angelic source dragon. That was pretty
He
cool.
always gets surprised. Oh, there's
Dragon
something else.
surprise in this journey.
Oh yeah, I love this.
Is
Yeah, this is
this pure
That whole
raw
week was great.
Kundalini energy?
This lady was a big surprise.
So
It was
if
like she called it
wants to
dragon
move,
surprise.
If you feel like
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
your body or shaking or stretching or whatever it is.
I remember Nicola's was really
then allow
powerful
it.
too.
If you have any sound or light language coming through, you can also allow that. This will be a fun journey.
I always look like I'm in a coma.
We're just playing.
Hey, Nora made it to this one.
We're just
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
And Maria was at a few of them.
That was a really fun one.
And
Yeah.
Janine is there. And then an anonymous person right on the bottom. We don't know who that is, but we see ya.
Start in the heart. For the heart is the
That was such a
center
fun week.
and the gate and the portal through which we journey.
I loved listening to her dragon language.
Andarakata natara nagada. Undorakadiana darakadianada. Opening space.
Beautiful.
Alphedia.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. I am Anka. I am delighted to connect with you. Those who are connecting live,
Look at those dragon
and those
skulls.
who are connecting in the future, I am opening up a portal for you to receive this in the now moment. The reason I wished to come forward at this time is that Earth is changing. The energies are speeding up at this point. As you are moving towards the powerful solstice point on
Look at that gong she's got. Can you imagine?
December.
She had a really good microphone too.
Yeah.
Now, you are all Earth workers. You are
Where's that
all
link
present
to?
here with me in this moment. Because part of your Earth's mission is to birth the new Earth codes into being.
So that was our Dragon Week. That was a good week. We
That
ended
was
with
so
the
much
Oracle
fun.
cards, but I couldn't find the snippet of you guys doing the oracles.
Yeah, we did it, but that was a weird thing.
But that Alphedia, she kind of showed up in the middle of Dragon Week. She wasn't on the plan or anything like that. And she showed up and she just all of a sudden she saw you, David, I think. And she kind of said, I feel like I need to come on and do something. And she just all of a sudden just like showed up with these
I think she was
really
like, that's just this guy who keeps posting Dragon Weeks in my Facebook work page. This is my professional work page. You're just posting your videos. Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh. Some people just don't. They don't.
She saw it. It was because she saw that. She reached out and she's like, I really feel like I can connect. And she's got this whole line of dragon skulls she sells and all this. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe we missed the opportunity to get her to hit that gong though. Like, I didn't even think about that. But looking at that right now, could you imagine like, boom?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. So that was like really interesting. And then we had a little bit of a break then. Like after the Dragon Week, I don't really think we did anything until January of this year. And we kind of all took a break. And then we started doing unity circles and Bonnie started doing community chats and she was bringing all these people on that were members. And we had all these community chats going on. And there was one lady that you did a community chat with that actually she passed away. So we wanted to like really kind of say a shout out to her.
Yeah, Maralee. She was amazing. She was a shaman, did the drumming for us, and she was so patient. I mean, she had so many technical difficulties, and we just worked our way through it, and we did it anyway. But it was amazing. And then I told her to come on over to the Hearts because then she could do another one where maybe somebody besides me was running the thing. And so over there, she did a good job too. So it was really a blessing to have her.
You might have broken a record for community chats in 2021. How many did you do? You must have done at least 30.
I don't know. There was
I don't know.
at least.
I did a lot of them.
This is all the Unity Circle people we had, and each person had a community chat. So we had, I don't know. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, about 50 community chats.
Wow.
Yeah, but they weren't all me though. Robin started doing some because it was getting to be too much. When Wendy Napolitano came over and she had such a big group, I was like, guys, you gotta help me with these chats. so you guys started coming in and doing them too. So it was really nice.
So let's just start shouting out the people. I'll go through the list. You guys we can commentate about the different ones. So we had Madelena Morbey. She was the one that we just saw in the Dragon Week that came on and she was doing all of the. I can't even do his speech. The Dragon Surprise, and then Alphedia. She came on and she did the Dragon Skull thing, and we had Nicola Russell that week as well. On top of you guys going on and doing something. That was amazing. And then after that, then we had Deni Dreazen come on at the beginning of the year. I can't remember what I'm gonna have to go back and look at the page, but I can't remember.
Tarot. She was doing tarot.
She's doing tarot, yeah.
What is it? Tarot hypnosis. She did one with herself, and then she did another one with Bonnie.
Tarot
hypnosis. Her and I did spirit hypnosis. Spiritual hypnosis together, and then she did a tarot one by herself.
Yeah,
that
was cool.
That was cool.
And then we had Don Lynch. Does everybody remember when Don Lynch?
That was fun.
Just blow it out. Remember that guy?
I think Jessie, were you there that day when Don Lynch was on? I think she was.
Cool. I use that to this day. I use that like if I feel like
the twirl fields and stuff that he was telling us to do, how to move the energy through our bodies and stuff. That was really cool.
It works.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah.
And then we had Julia Stubbe. She came on and she did a show. Let's see. I'm trying to find it on here. I think it was something about like cleaning up with your energy or something like that. I think
was it spiritual hygiene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was lots of fun too.
Yeah, and then we had there's a spiritual releasing energy blocks that was done, Lynch. We had see, it's between the community chats and then they go back and forth. So then we had Eliza Mozal on, and she did a unity circle. I'm just trying to find it. Can't find it. Do you remember what Eliza was talking about? Anybody remember?
I think she was doing a talk on boundaries. I think. Not
I
positive.
can't remember. Or maybe it was Eliza or Issa Blanco did a boundary one, I think.
Oh, it
as
was
well.
Issa that did the boundaries, yeah.
Yeah. And then we had Denise Wood and Morningstar. Morningstar came on.
Yeah, I just loved Morningstar. I saw her laughing. She was doing video and she was just doing that laugh she does, an uncontrollable laugh. And I just had to reach out to her and invite her to come on over to our show. I just loved her. I still love her to pieces. She's so much fun.
And like Denise's when she did the toning, Denise Wood when she was doing her.
I'll never forget
I
that.
know.
Beautiful.
For her. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel that in all your chakras when Denise starts doing that tone work.
Yeah.
She hits notes where you can't even hear it, but you can
My
feel
body
it.
felt that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember she was on Robin's show on Shine Your Light, and she was doing that with her, and it hit when she was doing it. I was texting in the comments, "Oh my God," because I could feel it. And I was like, "We gotta get her over to the new earth," and so we did.
And what I liked about Denise was she was doing every day when we were having during the lockdown. Every day she did. I think it was like 60 days. She would come on every single day, and she did something to help support people throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's how we found her, because she kept putting her videos into the New Earth thing.
Yeah.
We thought this lady's like really active. We need to ask her to come on.
Every time I'd go to like approve it to post it, I would just sit and listen to the whole thing every time, just because. I remember also that she was so enthusiastic, and her energy was really uplifting in general, not just what she was
and
doing.
Very positive.
Yeah.
Should we give a shout out to all the spam bots that we had to block and delete and filter? Remember when that was happening there? It's like,
oh my God, that was so funny.
Sure do.
And then do you remember when Facebook put this like thing on us? Like we weren't allowed to. They wanted to like approve all of our people and all their posts or something, and it was like an admin bot that came in, and it started like not allowing just about everybody that we had coming in putting videos, and people were coming to us saying it wouldn't let me put my video in. I remember Anna Lee kept coming to us and she kept saying it's not letting me put my video in, and everybody was thinking that we were like being really mean and we were like not accepting anybody's posts, and it wasn't us at all. It was this admin bot that came in, and basically I think there was all these rules and regulations about like what you could and could not say about around the C word and the V word and everything, and so you couldn't.
And then also if there was any advertisement whatsoever, then it would boot it out. So
or if it was
all about advertising, so it didn't make any sense,
Yes, or if it was political, they wouldn't let it go on, and I don't know why they were.
Honestly, like I didn't mind the political ones. It was driving me nuts. All the political.
I don't like the political.
Way too much division going around. Like for a whole. It was so nice. Like a month after the election. Once everybody just got over it.
Yeah.
I think that was like a January of just like okay, just stay neutral.
And like every time that bot would come in, like there was like whoever was coming in and they were putting stuff underneath people's. Remember there was a bot that was going on, and it was making like this comment, and it was like inappropriate.
It was like I'm Doctor Humashines or whatever.
Yeah, like they never got rid of
I will give you a free reading.
Yes, it was so inappropriate. It was going on, and people were getting really upset.
Well, yeah, because it was a scammer, so you'd scam people out of money.
And then I'm like, hey guys, we gotta like, don't boot that person out until we can erase all of them. And I remember going down, it would take me like an hour to go down through all the posts, and it would like have a comment in each one of them. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah,
that wasn't any fun.
And it was that bot spammer was around everywhere. Like I'd post in other groups, and then all of a sudden it would be like, blah 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 has commented on your video. So I go look. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he said. I'm Dr. Shmushinova. I was like, really? Not even a real person.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then we had Alexandra Tabaczynska. She came on.
I know her.
And she's the lady that also, like, I don't know, she does her own like QHHT, but she also does she channels Cryon as well, and all the beings like that. And then we had Adam, the Black Swamp medium. He came on, and remember he was playing his flute for us and all that. He did
lots of fun.
That reminds me, I gotta buy his album. I totally forgot.
Oh, is it out already?
It's out on Spotify, but there's only like one it's been out for years. It's on, I think he said Spotify or one of those other ones. I looked for it, and it's only like one clip, like one song. So I don't know if he's got new ones coming out or what the deal is.
Oh, amazing music. It just throws you right into it.
And then we had Kathleen Sherman with the whole Halloween thing. She came in. Did she do 2 Halloween ones? I don't.
No, she only did one. She did a Halloween, and then she did another show that later on was to do with energy and how to, keep your energy flow higher, But she did a couple.
And then Lara Jaye, that was a new one. I don't know where she came from, but all of a sudden, I think you found her, Bonnie.
She was in Sarasota with us at the show. We really loved her, so started asking her to do things with us.
Yeah. And Aurora Windquist. Oh my God, guys. When she came on and she was like, I can't even do like the voice that comes out of her. Like there is just like, it just reverberates.
We traded sessions one time.
It sounds so ancient.
And it was so amazing, like an experience. I think for both of us, but my experience with hers, it was just incredible. It was that sound healing, like if you haven't got a chance to experience sound healing, definitely check out people who are doing it because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Then we had Jennifer Passavant on. I don't remember what she was talking about. Do you remember what she came on about?
Was it
It's kind of hard because we've done so many things with Jennifer. It's hard to remember.
I can't remember.
I think it was just a whole bunch of points. Oh, I know what it was. She said it was about spiritual golden nuggets. It was like a show with like all
yeah.
That was fun. That was lots of fun.
Jennifer definitely won 2021 awards for the funniest freezing faces on live performances on Facebook. It just always gets her in some awkward pose or something.
I know. Because she's
Rachelle came on.
Yeah,
and she did a Unity Circle. We went on to Telos. That was after you went to
Mount
Shasta.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then we had Wendy Napolitano. She came in.
Tano.
Tano. You're good. Yeah, she was doing that Lemurian call to action. And she brought a couple people on. Maralee, who passed away.
And they did that whole Mount Shasta thing. I think she organized this huge trip, and there had to have been like at least 20 people out there. She posted all about it. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Mount Shasta got a lot of attention in 2021, 2020.
Yeah.
Activations out there.
And the water is worth the trip alone. Just, like if you don't have any money, just enough to get there, that's all you need. Just get out there, find that water supply, and just drink it as much as you can.
Oh, it's so amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
And then we had Issa Blanco on, and she did a whole thing about boundaries. And I remember after the show, I started working on my boundaries right after that show. It was like the perfect time when she came in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Universe that.
It's something too, like you got to be careful of, because sometimes when you're just thinking about somebody, all of a sudden you're connecting to them. You're like, oh shit, like I didn't even realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be mindful, like, of if you are thinking about someone, to not be connecting, because in this day and age, they'll be seeing and feeling that, right? So
exactly.
But usually most people are thinking good things when about somebody else.
If it's not kind, you better think twice, because they're gonna feel it. That's
exactly. We had a few times where we had like little attacks. Remember, we had a few like little spiritual attacks that were going on behind the scenes that we had to sort out.
We had a couple of groups on the page that kind of was we weren't sure about. Yeah.
And then of course then we had Annalee. She was
that was
there was
fun.
so much.
She's a golden prize winner of the light language master. Like, I've never seen anybody can pump out as light language. Like she can do light language. If I've seen her do an hour, no sweat, not even like a stop, like not even like a. It was just constant. It's just amazing. But she's amazing. She's always activating things all around, everywhere she is.
Yeah, she's a true blessing, for sure.
We had Mia Kafkios. I was trying to figure out what did she do, but I can't find it.
I think she just did a community chat. Did she do a circle?
I think she did, but I can't really find it right now. So
I think she did do well on the chat. She was just doing clearings for people and stuff.
Yeah,
and she's really kind, and it was really fun. She
so
talked a lot about Divine Ray and stuff like that, because we were trying to.
And we had Michiel Kroon and Leanne Ta Iki Anawa. They came on a couple of times. They're the ones that created
people.
The one that created the Oracle deck. Yeah,
I remember that too. Yep.
And they not only came on for that, but they came on for the Artist Alley.
Yep, maybe that's what I'm remembering.
She came on Artist Alley, and then they also came on another time. They had a new exhibition in Glastonbury, and she has like this whole Elven edition that she's making and everything. So they came on a couple of times. They're really nice people. And
a great couple too. You know, they really are good. They work really well together.
And then we had Victoria Reynolds. She came on. She did the 60 money tree, where she was talking about basically kind of. I think what she was talking about was manifesting in the new energies and how to manifest in a positive way. And that I remember that show. Her show actually triggered me. And it triggered me because I'm not very good about allowing myself to have abundance. And so I always like push it away. And I don't know, there was something that happened during that show. I actually felt really horrible afterwards. And I went and I talked to her afterwards, and she said that it probably whatever happened in her show, it probably just kind of brought up something that needed to be looked at. Because I got majorly triggered that time. But it was a good thing.
It triggers, you know, like if somebody says something on one of your Facebook threads and you take it personally and you get upset and this and that, it's always an opportunity and a lesson there for both people usually.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There was just something that it wasn't about her. I was just triggered inside about like, I guess I was like triggered about like.
But you got above it. We did our first New Earth AC live event.
We did. We got above it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's even available on the New Earth AC. It was a journey to Agartha. If you haven't watched that yet, You gotta check it out. It is
Yes,
so cool.
and the recording is still available. I think there's like a link or whatever you can go to if you want to still get the recording for it. And then we had Meher Madon. She came in. She talked about the Vedas. I don't know if you guys. It was like I think is Islam? Is it Islam or something like that? The way that they believe through Islam or something. She was from India or something.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna say Indian. Yeah.
yeah, and that was a very interesting show, and it was very interesting to hear about the Vedas and the concepts behind it and everything. And then we had this really lovely lady, and she was the one. She went to that Lemurian call to action, and her name was Leza Vivio, and she had like all the sound stuff and the gongs and everything, and she was just such a sweetheart.
Yeah, loved her.
I hope she comes back.
Me too.
And then we had Sarah Elizabeth. Do you guys remember Sarah Elizabeth?
Oh yeah, I know who she is all the time. I know her really well.
I can't remember what she did. Let me see.
She has an amazing origin story. I'm not allowed to share it, I don't think, but it's like amazing light. She's an amazing light.
Yeah, she is. Cool. And let's see. We had Kathy Mason on. Kathy Mason came and she did a unity circle with us. I think it was all about, it was something around preparing for your Akashic records or something like that. She did something about the Akashic records. I can't remember.
I think it got canceled. I think she ended up doing a special for a friend instead.
Well, no, her friend Ritza passed away, not Ritza, what's her name?
It had been before or something like that,
Ritzenheim,
right?
Elsie Ritzenheim. She had passed away right before that, and so we did like a little tribute to her friend, and then she did talk a little bit about like what she does and how her Akashic Records works and how she works with her clients and stuff. And that was really cool because like if you ever get a chance to work with Kathy Mason, she literally gets she was saying she gets like a little like a screen in front of her. She can actually see what your purpose is and like what you're meant to be doing. Like if you're meant to be writing a book or something, she'll actually see it. Like when she did mine one time live on a show, and she actually saw like a children's book, and she saw like the big pages, and she saw she saw all of the colors and my art and everything all through it. Like she sees like visions of what you're meant to be doing, and then she helps you, and she has like a publishing company, and she'll help you publish your books or whatever it is that you're meant to be doing if there's a book involved. So like
she has so many guests on her show too. Like I think she does one at least every week.
She does at least one, if not two, every week. Yeah, she's really good. And
there are a lot of troopers on the ground right now. We're just so amazing. Well, everybody is really like, even if you're just holding light, it's amazing. It's not easy. Sometimes you gotta like go into like some deep breathing and just relaxing and praying that it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Then we had a couple of newbies that came on. They had never been on a show anywhere, and they were just people that were very active in the New Earth Facebook page and putting up posts and things. And I think they worked with the Divine Ray. So like at one point we were trying to help people who were actually going in and putting videos up on Divine Ray, and we were trying to promote them by like bringing them on and everything. And we found some new gems out there that we would never have known about. We had Reshma Eugene come in, and that was the day, Bonnie, when I called you and we were going to do that. We did that whole like impromptu journey to Lemurian sisterhood thing. That was cool. And so yeah, we had a nice little time with Reshma. And then we had Caitlyn Healer. She was a totally surprise. None of us knew her. She had just been putting up videos on the Divine Ray. And she came on, and oh my God, she is a beautiful lady. She did a lot of tarot and things. I don't know. Do you remember her, Bonnie? Do you remember her coming on with us?
Yeah. It was really, really amazing. It was really cool.
And of course, David's friend, Amy Apostolico. I can't even say her name.
Apostolico.
She's funny. She calls me up like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, and she's with a couple of light workers from her work, in a place where she's working now, and they're talking about recording this series about higher consciousness. And she goes, "Oh, you gotta meet my friend David." And so she calls me up, and she tells me all this, and she goes, "Okay, perform clown, let's go."
Oh my God.
She was joking. It was just like, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna send you guys love energies. Here you go.
She didn't even tell you what.
And now it's been like this ongoing joke. Like, she'll just comment on my thread, like, "I really like your video, clown."
Yeah. And then we had a really interesting ending of a Unity Circle. I think she was one of the last ones that we did a Unity Circle with. And her name was Carol Nyack. Oh my God. Those crystals.
Oh, I love her.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was just amazing. That energy. Oh my gosh.
Like, she's literally living in a crystal cave. Like,
oh my God.
How do you speak?
I don't know if you saw her. Did you?
I had a lot of crystals at one point, like a lot. And even my son said, "Dad, it's like we're living in a crystal chamber." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I'll take some of those and put them in the garage." Because you feel it. It's just like crystalline being, you know, like. And
I would love one.
I love it.
There's a tipping point of crystals. Like, I have a nice amount now that I'm very comfortable sleeping at night with, like, in the house. You know?
I never can have enough.
But you guys, like that one purple, she had like that purple one that she held up. It was like really heavy. It was like huge, massive thing. And she was saying this is like from Lemuria. Like, I don't know, like I
think she had an amethyst crystal that was taller than her. I'm pretty sure it's by her fireplace or something. It was just, and I was tuning into it and it was like, boom, waves.
And she had a big, huge, like Lemurian crystal that stuck out. You couldn't even lift it. Oh my goodness. It was just like, whoa. Can you imagine being in that room? I was like,
is that in November, that one? Or is it like October, that one?
It was, when was that? It was after Halloween.
Okay. So probably November then.
I don't know when it was. I'm not seeing it.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but I wrote it down. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah. And then we did a big, huge Unity Circle, but it ended up being like a show. It was a light language show.
Oh,
and Nicola Russell came in and she co-hosted with us. And we had Anna Isabel Esperato Santo come on, and she danced while Ernestine Day was like playing her guitar. And then we had, of course, Bonnie, who came on and did some light language. David came on and I came on and did a light language. Inger Arnez, Lara Jaye came back. And then we had Marion Grace, which I had never met before.
Oh, I love her. She's amazing.
I'm so glad that Bonnie and Nicola talked and came up with that idea. Like that was one of my favorite, like, besides Dragon Week, I think that was like my second favorite.
I think we talked about doing that all along. We just didn't never get around to it.
Oh, IL was there too, remember?
Yeah, and Patricia Taylor, Robert Van Kooten, and then of course we had Adam, the Black Swamp Medium, and he came on and played the flute. And so it was really cool. So we had a lot of men that came in as well. It wasn't just women, which
that was nice.
I think a lot of times the women kind of dominate when it comes to the light language. And there was like men coming in, and it was really nice.
Masculine is rising in their feminine.
Oh God.
That was lots of fun.
And then of course I think I did a Unity Circle too. I did a Oracle card one. And then I did a crystal gazing one.
Oh,
the Oracle the first ones, I think.
I think I did one on shadows. And, you know,
yeah, you did a shadow one. And I think David did a couple of them, but I can't remember. I think I kind of like.
Pretty sure I did one on following frequency because that's something that I use all the time.
So I'm going to share. Okay, so I'm going to share some of the things that the four of us did together. Like we all kind of got together throughout the year, and it's surprising when you look back to actually see what we did. And so I'm just going to put a clip up of what we did together.
The year we got together at different times and did impromptu astral travels to many places. We found ourselves in Ashtar's light ship, connecting to the mountain energy, inside Telos at Mount Shasta, where David hosted a unity circle on site. Robin stood in the middle of an ancient stone circle where we found out the original intention it was created for. David took us to the Divine Source Biosphere. Robin and David connected to David's Atlantean crystal device. We used our Andaras to connect to Agartha, the city of light near Antarctica, and ended the year with the most amazing winter solstice.
You can connect with the crystal too, and basically just bring in your intentions of what you want to call in. So it's going to generate those frequencies as you're calling them in. Like yesterday when I was calling in the dragon energies, I was getting like this cool purple frequency coming in, and like kind of like this phoenix energy. It was really neat.
Take a deep breath. Breathe this beautiful violet flame all the way through you with the infinity sign running in all directions and time. Take a deep breath. Breathe it all the way down to the ends of your toes. Let every system. I still get weirded out.
I see they have this glow around them, this golden glow.
You really came out with light language so strong in 2021, Bonnie.
Like they're illuminated beings. But the lands out here, the mountains, this frequency, and when I came here the first day,
I just want to push pause on that because I just want to say, David, when you were up on the mountain up at Mount Shasta, it was like so cool because we could like there was like more energy that we could feel because you were like actually right there at the place. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Here throughout the whole night, I kept waking up and merging with this unconditional love frequency out here, and I just kept merging and integrating with it. So I want to bring in these frequencies to everybody to help integrate what's out here. So I want to channel that energy into here and then go into a meditation and connect with Telos. Lots of blue energies. I believe they're Fey energies that are all around here. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we're just going to connect with everything, bring in all this love codes.
Turn out to be master integration
because it's
so. I'm spending the day at an ancient stone circle. It's in the county of Limerick in Ireland, and the place is called Loch Gur, and it has. I was looking up to see its history and stuff, and it is 2200 BC is when they date it back to. So it's very ancient and it's very old. And I've been here all day. And I started with, I don't know, we've had Nora Creed on before with the transference healing. Into the camera. And we did 2 hours with Nora.
Of your flower.
And then we had our little picnic out in the middle of the circle. The energy is absolutely it's outrageous. When I left my house this morning, it was like very dreary and rainy, and then by the time we got here, the sun is out and it's absolutely gorgeous. And let me think, what else? Oh, and then right before we just went live, I randomly went around. There's a lot of tourists and stuff around here. And I randomly went around and I got people to do a sacred dance with me. And so we did a sacred dance in the middle of the stone circle to bring in the light. And it was absolutely amazing. I ended up in tears at the end. And it was just amazing. And there's a guy that's walking around the stones like all day, and he keeps going around. He's got a stick. I think he might be a shaman or a druid or something, and he keeps walking around. And at one point I told him we were going to be doing a sacred dance and to bring in more light, and he says the light's going to come whether you do the dance or not. That's when we were connecting into the place.
It was so fun.
They want us to connect the circle back to their light ship.
Okay.
They're telling me that the connection's been lost with all the ceremonies and all the things that the humans have done through the years, that they've lost their direct connection, and they would like it if we can. I don't know how we're supposed to do that, but we're supposed to help them connect back to the original purpose.
There's like there's an energy signature on the stones that's like a code, like almost like a light language.
Mm-hmm.
Just send in a light, Andromedan light into it with intent.
And I just want to say that after we got done doing that circle, I went around because David had channeled that part in about the everything had like a signature on all the stones. And I went through and I touched every stone and thanked it for being there, and just like went around the whole circle before I left. And when I got out of there, oh my God, when I got out of that circle, I was instantly, I got this like really bad sore throat. By the time I got home, I could barely even speak. Do you remember that? I was just
you were I think you had a huge integration is what you had.
And I was in the middle of the circle that like we're like talking to the Andromedans and the Ashtar and all these like ships and everything that are like out there, and they're all watching me, and I'm in the middle of this circle, and the amount of like energy that was coming down in the middle of that thing, I think it just totally wiped my whole system.
What was really interesting about that one is a scene that, and I don't know if you guys remember, but that portal of light was Andromedan for sure, and I think there was some Palladian as well, but it also shot through some kind of a dimensional rift of light that was at like almost like an origin story of Andromedans, like a whole other universe where there's Andromedans, and they had all those ships that were there. Like I went through a whole energetic upgrade after that episode as well. That was
so did I. It was really intense.
It was cool. And I would like to do more of that next year. Like I'll go to different sites. If anybody has something around you, like an Indian sacred site or something, like we need to like connect more with these sacred sites, because I think it's really cool.
There are
you think people get sick of looking at my armpits? I didn't realize I have my arm up in the air all the time.
You do, David.
Well, you're like that all the time, and I'm always like
starting to get self-conscious of this now.
I'm hiding my eyes for some reason. I think I was having a headache or something. Okay, so let's hear what this one was about.
Your higher self to merge with you. You'll feel your energies expanding. You'll feel like a very tall being, and as you're here, as a gift to you. Ask your higher self in complete trust to upgrade your chakra systems to a higher divine light, to higher vibrations, and we'll just wait for a minute for upgrades. You may start to feel it in your heart. You may feel it in your root. You may feel it in your crown, and just let these.
You are all totally, completely loved. Each and every one of you are totally and completely loved. That you cannot do anything wrong, that everything you do is okay. If you make mistake, skip back up again and start all over.
Okay, so we're gonna do a guided meditation. Kwan is going to start off
This was
with
fun.
Robin taking us in.
Oh God. You got me all surprised there, David. It was like I just got done telling you how I had to wash my dog and in the shower and all this kind of stuff going on. My house was like crazy, and David like picks me to take us into this thing. We had no idea what we were going to see, and we ended up going into that mountain. Remember?
Oh, that was crazy.
So, David, where are we going to go? We didn't even...
I don't know.
We're gonna
It'll
just
come.
let him take us wherever's needed.
Something about that, and something about that, it can generate energy for us if we learned how to use them. Do you know what I'm talking about, guys? What they're called? I don't know what the name of them are. They're like in the ocean, and they shoot up, and it looks like a volcano coming up inside the ocean. It's like all these bubbles and stuff.
Geysers.
Steam. Yeah, that's it. That's what the name of that is.
I couldn't think of the name.
This thing, we could learn from that. We can harness the energy from that, and it's clean.
That was so weird.
energy.
Jesse's not on here, but she just said geysers, and
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I'm not a scientist. So I don't really
That
know.
was on the video.
Something about that we can utilize the magnetics and this natural.
It's definitely an energy stream, and it goes up.
It's bringing the energy of fire and water together.
David, I'm enjoying your varying
And it goes
degrees
all the way down.
compilation here, just for the record.
Right. You would think like you're just going to make like a small little altar in the area where you're going to do this. No, we all, like there was 5 of us, and we all, even her teddy bear showed up, right?
Oh, well,
Just-
obviously Rupert's coming. Rupert
What
came
happened to it?
Rupert.
That was were we talking about Fillmore?
Throughout the year, we got.
Wait a minute, we lost that. Wait a minute, let's get back to that.
Send in a light.
Rupert's my teddy bear, and he came on a trip. That's all.
Wait a minute, now we're getting back to that. We lost it.
There's the one with Jessie right after this.
Yeah, that's the one.
It got cut off, I think. You would think like you're just going to make like a small little altar in the area where you're going to do this. No, we all, like there was 5 of us, and we all, even her teddy bear showed up, right?
Well,
Just-
obviously Rupert's coming.
Must be that.
Obviously, Rupert's coming. Yeah.
I'd say
Well,
that that's
obviously Rupert's coming.
yeah, so like there was more on that clip. I don't know what happened to it, but like there was more there about like what we were talking about with grid work and how like you can do it in the water and stuff like this, and how there was just so many different ways to do grid work. Jessie was like coming up with all kinds of ways. She did
Brought
a
in
lot of
her teddy
talking.
bear aspect, Rupert.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never stayed overnight anywhere in my whole life without that bear. So he had.
Wow.
That's cool.
Well, I got him on my first Christmas. So
No way.
yeah, I can't deal
He was
with
on the altar and everything. It was cool. It was cool. And I really loved how like when you were going up and you were going up the hill, going up to the place to do the good work, and you were dropping off all the little organ pieces all off to the little fairies and stuff. It was just so cool. The energy was so awesome.
Yeah.
And I think we were
I don't know. Time was really weird there because I just remember we emerged from the woods like 5 or 6 hours later, but it really only felt like an hour at the most.
Mhm.
And it was dark. Remember,
Yeah.
remember we were like trying to wash up in the park bathroom.
Wow.
We were all full of mud, and remember you falling down the.
Oh my God. And they had used the staff to pull me up. I couldn't,
It was
I couldn't get up. I thought I was going to be stuck there forever.
It's so funny.
That's a busy 2021.
That was kind
Ooh.
of basically, there was more that we did. It was like trying to find snippets and everything. It was taking me hours and hours and hours to like get it. So
Well, we
I tried to get
appreciate-
as much as I could.
we appreciate all you did because that
Yeah,
really
you,
captured the magic.
you did a really good job at
Yeah, it's
getting what
awesome.
you done.
Great work.
Is
Yeah.
there anything that
Robin.
anybody wants to like highlight that they really enjoyed about last year and what we did here?
Wow. You know, I honestly I can't even believe everything that, like, thinking back, that Andromeda and Portal and the light language series and like
Mount
that
Shasta.
journey to Agartha at the end, that event we did, just it is so fun. It is so fun. Like, it's just amazing that, and a lot of people said or thought that you're not going to be able to connect with Agartha. Only like a certain amount of people can go in there. And the most unique thing happened at the beginning of that. All of a sudden, the Agarthans started merging their frequency and field over ours. And I don't remember that ever happening in anything that we've done per se, like where like beings merged their field and then it opened up access to the whole inner earth experience. It was just so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool. But everything.
And if anybody wants to get a recording of that, we still have the recordings. And if you want it, just let us know, and we can hook you up with it.
Yeah, it's still available. But you know, it was really amazing because it was like each one of us, it just gave us just a unique part into what we were doing. It was so different than anything we
you
ever did.
exploded. Remember, Bonnie used to be like the master at bringing us in, and now she's like the master at the light language now, the integration, and she's letting go of bringing everybody in because she's bringing all these other elements now into the journeys.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I like bringing people in, but I also like I like to just wait until I connect and just do whatever it is they want me to do. If I'm doing the bringing the in part, then I don't know. I mean, it's not as, I can't just sit there and connect until it just comes.
you know
what I mean?
who like bringing in is that Adam the Black Swamp.
Oh, he's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Hey.
When he brought us into the ocean and I could actually taste the salt water. I mean, it was just amazing.
When he came onto New Earth and he did that thing with his flutes, it was like a meditation. He called it a meditation, I think. And it, for me, because I've been to a lot of like shamanic journeys and things like this, it was like immediately he took me into a shamanic journey while we were sitting there live. It was just like, whoa.
So you know what it happened for me, like with the light language, it still comes in streams when it's supposed to be keys and codes and something that they plan. But yet if I'm by myself, you know, I can just yak all day, just go on and on and on and on, and it never stops. But and I don't sometimes I know what I'm saying, but I figured out the only way to know what I'm saying is if you drop it into your heart, and then it starts telling you what you're saying. But you know, it's so weird because sometimes I'm just out in nature and I'm just rattling away, and it's just because I feel like the trees and whatever needs the keys and codes, and we're just sharing energy, and I don't have to know what it says. I'm just doing it, you know. And so it just depends on what I'm doing. Whether
we had a weird intertwining connection last year, hey Bonnie, with like, it's almost like I was saying what you're getting and you just kept tripping out. You're like, oh my God, you keep saying what they're telling me.
I know. Yeah, we had the same channel. We were on the same channel. It was crazy. That don't happen often, that you hear exactly the same words as another channel does.
Well, the biggest thing that tripped me out was the first time, like there was like a time, I think it was in sometime in 2020, maybe in the summer, and I had this dream like, you're going to be a channel, and I just woke up and they were just showing me like just going out and channeling out on the street, out on the lives and stuff. And so one of my first channelings, I channeled Yeshua, and Bonnie heard Yeshua speaking in my mind while I was channeling it. It's just like, whoa,
crazy,
so trippy.
Yeah, and that was just before that. It seemed like there was like a 4-page or 5-page message from Yeshua that he gave me to give to you. That was too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
was
then
like,
I went
why do I have to tell her?
work. Like it was basically like, yeah, Yeshua's telling you, David, that you got to do the work.
That was when you had to do your.
Hey guys, listen a month.
Dave didn't want to do the shadow work. He didn't want to face that. She was like,
yeah,
I want to go past that and go over here.
Really,
nobody likes it. I mean, it's really. I was just telling somebody today, like there was a past life where I was like a samurai guy, and in Japan, and I was just taking people's heads, and it was always these families for power, and the head warrior, the families, they would battle for who's going to be in power. So they would have these annual things where literally your warrior and I never lose, but it was just horrible because I kept seeing the heads and the heads and the heads and the head, and then all these battles that would go on, and it was horrible. Like I literally did a shadow work video after that talking about it, and I'm bawling my eyes out. And so not only are you clearing your karma from all the heads you took, but you're also clearing the karma from the families who lost fathers. You're clearing the karma of everybody that was impacted and your family, and releasing the importance of power, releasing war, releasing killing people. And it was just like, it's like, oh my, like shadow work is not easy. It's not easy,
No.
but it will.
But I know why you were avoiding it.
But you came up with some
yeah,
way
well, obviously I had
David.
that was like the first one that showed its face to me, and I was just like, oh my God, that was brutal. But eventually, like after like months and months, and then really mastering shadow work eventually, but it was like I was talking to God one day. I'm like, look, like this is brutal. Like, why do you keep showing me these things? And it's like, can you not show me something nice? And it's like, you never asked. Just ask for something nice. You can take a break from the so that I was showing this nice, beautiful Atlantean time that showed me the crystal portal device and how it works and stuff. And so it was a nice, you can take breathers. You don't have to go like shadow. You can like view a nice life in between all that.
The other night I was in a dead sleep, and all of a sudden I jumped up out of the bed like a ninja, and there's no way I could get out of bed that fast. And I was in fighter stance, and I was just ripping out the light language, going on and on and on. And I was in battle, and it was a past life. And I was releasing the pain and the suffering. It was his last stand before they murdered him, but his whole village got murdered. But I was the one who made the decision to fight to the death. And I had to forgive myself for the death of the whole village. And I was just screaming my head off. My husband's like, what are you doing?
Can you imagine? Like, if he came up being
it felt like he was in a tunnel. And then I turned and I looked at him and I went, I don't know what I think I'm having a nightmare. And I just laid back down.
Hey, Jess, would you kind of like to share what happened when you went out to your mailbox a couple weeks ago?
Oh. So
that was cool.
Yeah.
So I think I saw a space.
Did you freak out? Like, what did you do? Did you get frozen, or like, what did you do?
I froze, and then after I got unfrozen, I booked it. I freaking ran as fast as I could. As if anything on the freaking boards would have helped me at all. But and then I for some reason whipped out my phone and got some pictures and like a really short video, and I immediately like lost my shit and sent it to you guys. Remember? I was like, I'm like typing, like I'm screaming, trying to type. I'm like, I don't know. And yeah, it was really nuts. It was really
That's so cool.
Has anything happened since?
It disappeared into the Pleiades star cluster, and I only know that because I just like focused as long as it was up there on like exactly where it was. Where after I got my little clip, I just like watched it because it was so fast, you guys. But actually, it was like a good 20 seconds from beginning to end because it came out from the horizon line. It did this thing, and then all the lights disappeared, boop 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 boop, one by one. So I'm focusing on where they're disappearing into, and then I like ran back in the house and grabbed my iPad. I have like the Starfinder app on there, and I pointed it right to where it was, and it disappeared right into the Pleiades star cluster, which is part of the Andromeda galaxy, which the day before I had put like a 3x3 foot canvas painting of the Andromeda galaxy above my mantle. And then so then that happened.
That's so cool. I think a lot.
And the candle on my mantle underneath the thing says home on it. So then I just like stared at that forever, being like,
Whoa.
Probably your aspects.
I don't think I can flip my thing around, but the Andromeda up there.
Yeah.
Ooh, where'd it?
That's
There.
so cool.
So that was really crazy because that's, I mean, you guys, I'm used to all the ethereal stuff and the internal journeying and the, you know, all the things, right? But like, there is something to be said about seeing the things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you watch all the shows.
Yeah, a couple of times we couldn't see it. I think it was like in a cloud or something, but it was broad daylight, and we could actually hear the combustion engines, and we knew that something was above our house. And I have a recording of it. But the weird thing is, it's such a weird tone that not everybody can hear it. And I don't know if it's because it's a higher vibration. Because sometimes I'll play it for somebody and they'll go, whoa. And then I'll play it for somebody and they'll go, I don't hear anything. So it's really weird. It's really cool. But I do have a recording of the sound. I don't have. You couldn't.
I remember Robin answered me first, and I'm like, "Is that a spaceship? Is that a spaceship, Robin?"
You know, my husband and I are the
voice message clip back, and she's like, "Holy shit balls." I was like, "I know. It is. I was losing it. I just couldn't even deal with my. I got a video of it, but I still was just like, and then I couldn't believe it disappeared into Andromeda with the dudes, my dudes.
So like that goes to show you that there's going to be like there's more content coming and more.
Yeah, get ready. It's about to get weird. It's about to get weird, folks.
Yeah. I mean, my husband and I, we're not running. We're sitting there recording.
Not like that.
We're probably like.
I'm surprised you even had enough in you to get a video of that, even though it was like only like, what was it, like 9 seconds or something like this?
No, it wasn't even. It was like 3 seconds. I got a couple photos. Like, I don't even know. I don't really remember doing it. Like I said, I don't even really know, to be honest.
So what do you guys think we're going to be doing? What do you think we have planned as the New Earth AC next year? Do we want to do more of this, more Unity circles, more events?
I think that it's like I know that the people that come on and do their Unity circles are grateful to do it and have an audience, but I'm also personally extremely grateful to have the Unity circles too, because it opens up opportunities to heal and expand, and where I'm not saying I otherwise wouldn't have healed or expanded, but it's like a really
Pretty sure I'm going to Spain like in March or April or something. So I'll try to find a sacred site out there to connect with.
David, if you're going to fly to Spain, you need to stop by in Ireland.
It's not so simple.
So cool. Well, I think let's ask the audience to, give us some comments and give us some suggestions of what kind of Unity circles are, even if you're somebody who wants to be on. Comment in the comments and let us know.
And also, what would be really cool is if people that are watching us now, you know how like I was in the middle of that circle at that sacred site, and then David was at Shasta, and we did a thing. If anybody's going to a place where there's like a sacred site or anything like that, and they would like to do a Unity circle with us, it can be impromptu. Like we don't have to, like it might not be with all of us. Like we might not all be able to be there at the same time, but it would be really cool to actually connect to a sacred site with somebody physically being in the area.
Exactly.
So like Glastonbury, if there's anybody here watching us and they're near Glastonbury and they would like to come on and do this with us, we would love it. Any of the places, really.
Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if somebody went to Giza? Whoa, that would be cool.
Oh, you know who's around there? There is somebody around there right now. I could see the.
Yeah, maybe we would like to have more of that. We'd like to have more of that next year, and more events like what we did with the winter solstice. I think the four of us doing another event. Maybe we do one for the summer solstice, one for the winter solstice, and then maybe a 11/11 one or a 8/8. Lion Gate.
8/8 always kicks my rear end. So yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, it kicks my rear end. I think that the winter solstice or the winter solstice one that kicked you too, didn't it? You were just kind of like,
I had to leave a little early because the kids woke up, but yes. So
yeah.
I would say for like I didn't even realize that I was or what it was like afterwards when I you know, like you get so far through your shadow work that you can just recognize when things are, if it's a trigger or if it's someone actually being a jerk or if it's, you know what I mean? If it's you or if it's not. I knew immediately it was me because I just knew, but I didn't know what. And it's like, so I just decided to analyze it later. I put it aside because I realized it was in here. So, but like, well, that's
were you able to work?
What I was touching on is like every single one, every event, everything opens up an opportunity for me to progress through my own stuff, let's say, and that was no exception.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's the funniest thing. Like when we actually do something and we're putting something together. I remember like last year I had a really hard time. I was like, why is nobody watching my Shine Your Light network? And I was getting really upset. Remember that, guys? And I was like having like this big, huge pity party because I wasn't having views and everything. And I was like, I'm the only one that watches my videos. And I don't know if it was Bonnie or somebody made a comment to me and they said, maybe, I know who it was, Sienna. She said, maybe you're doing those videos for yourself. Maybe, just maybe you're doing them so that you can work through some stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
You know, it really is a part. It's everything that we do. It's to help you too. I mean, it's a plus if it helps the masses, but it's really about going within and helping ourselves.
Yeah, and a lot of times what it does is like a therapy session for me. Like it is. It's like going on and you're talking, and it is like a therapy session. So yeah.
The solstice thing, it took me a good, because I realized what happened, and then I started to examine it later that night when I like had enough emotional space to do so. And it took me a good 3 full days to be like, feel the things, figure out what it was, where did it come from, you know, all the things. But like, thank goodness, because who knows how many years it would have taken me to get to that.
Well, that's like right before we went into the winter solstice. I had the cards. I was doing my I always pull my cards every day, and I do my journaling, and I'm pulling the cards, and there was like this inner child, and there was like all this stuff, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa. And like, I'm going to be doing something with inner child, not just like healing pools and all this kind of stuff. And I think like I might have actually like I might have actually started the trigger to pull whatever it was that was you need to work on. I think I accidentally did that with the
nothing is really accidental, so I'm fine with it.
And there was another lady that she was there at the thing as well, and she was dealing with that kind of stuff too. And she came to me afterwards, and she said that it actually did something to help her.
And there was a couple of events immediately following that too, that same day, that like that combined with the opening that happened during the meditation and stuff, the actual events later was like, this cannot be unrelated, you know? Like, do you know how you just are like, how does this fit together? I'm not sure, but there's no way it doesn't, you know?
And it's no fun. Yeah. Like shadow work is not fun, and the stuff that comes up is not fun. And I remember Nora Creed, she said to me last year, she said to me, every time you get triggered, you you need to look at it, and you need to look at, it's not the person that's actually triggering you that is the problem. You need to go in and you need to find out what it is that you need to deal with and look at it like head on kind of thing. And then she said, then you, girl, need to send that person a Christmas card thanking them for helping you work through your shadow. Because that's what, anytime anybody triggers you, it has nothing to do with them. It all has whatever it is to do with you inside.
Exactly.
And you will get tested, so you'll know how good you're doing based on how often you react out of haste.
I know.
And it's just because, like,
and you know what though? I mean, everybody's got to heal something, right? Like this journey that we're going on it's a journey of expansion, but it's a journey where everybody's healing, and there's always something. There's always something that will come up. There's always something that we're all healing from. So we are.
Triggers can be painful, but I mean, if you don't look at it, they're just going to be waiting. They're just waiting, you know. So they're not going anywhere. You'll be triggered again.
Exactly.
Probably in a worse way, because the universe just gets louder and louder and louder if you don't choose to listen. I did that the hard way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every now and then I'm like, nope, not dealing with you. And then guess what? The week after, it's like, oh yes, you are. You know.
So I'd like to have more artists, Ellie, next year. We've got to get some more artists on to help promote artists and because artists have a hard time to it's easy for an artist to do something, like to create what they create, but it's really hard for them to show it and tell people what they're doing. So I'm really hoping, because last year we kept advertising for Artist Alley, and nobody really came up and said that they would like to be involved in coming on and having us promote them. So let's just put an intention out for next year that we get some artists that will come on. We do some Artist Alleys next year.
Stop being shy. I remember asking a few, and they're all like, "Oh," but that was me.
I know the few I have too who did the same.
And we can't just keep advertising our own. Like you and me, Jessie, we're the artists. We can't just keep.
Hey, I play guitar, guys. I could come and play a song. I can.
Okay,
I'm an artist, and I also do jewelry, so we're all artists.
And then Ernest, she does a really cool looping artist language for her music.
It kind of goes along with the personality type of an artist, though. I find at least my friends of mine that are artists, and I know myself, super shy.
Maybe I'll learn a Guns N' Roses song on guitar, and I'll channel light language through it.
You'd be rocking it, Dave.
So welcome to the jungle, light language.
Which jungle there?
So is anybody doing anything special for themselves? Any Jessie, David, Bonnie, any of you guys doing anything special next year?
I do regular sessions. You can get my information on my YouTube and stuff like that. I do meditations weekly and also teach and certify for Reiki. And also I'm in the progress of doing the Ignite Quantum Healing certification classes for everyone. So that's pretty much what I'm doing.
So if anybody wants to be certified in Ignite Quantum Healing, what is that, Bonnie? What is it?
Well, it's like a mix of you use hypnotherapy techniques and also the Akashic records. It works in the quantum. You move through your records, but you don't have to go from each. You don't have to go to each lifetime. What it does is it takes the energy of one that goes to the original energy of that lifetime, and it'll clear. It's like the roots of a tree through every aspect and every lifetime that it's attached to. And so it's just learning how to trust your guides, learning how to be the guide for others, because they do their own healing work. You just hold the space. So it's just teaching.
Is it a little bit? It is a little bit similar to QHHT, but it's not exactly the same thing. It's not where you have a whole bunch of questions and you ask your person and all that. But the practitioners that you will be training in, they will be certified to be able to do a little bit of hypnotherapy and work with the Akashic records and help guide the person. And they'll also be able to do a healing if the person can't see a lifetime or whatever?
Yeah, so it's like it's like you learn how to lead the meditation. You learn how to hold the space. You learn how to do the hypnotherapy processes, and also coaching processes. Learn how to hold people and let them do their own work, and not stop them in the middle of their releases. Allow them to cry, which is a hard thing to learn, to let people cry, because you want to pet them and say they're there, but you have to let them get it out of their system. And it's just a system of different tips and tools and modalities that I have learned in my lifetime, and also my guides have taught me different ways to do things. And so it's just all those things wrapped into one. And it's the reason why it's called Ignite Quantum Healing is because once you ignite one healing, then your guides and angels stay with you, and they will work with you at night, and they'll help keep you to continue to release things. And then when you get stuck, then you have another session. But that's pretty much what it's about. It's about getting the shadow work done and having the help to do it when you get stuck.
So if anybody's looking to have one of these types of sessions, you need to contact Bonnie. And if anybody is interested in becoming a practitioner of this new modality that Bonnie's putting together, please contact Bonnie and she can give you more information and guide you. Bonnie's kind of like, I'm putting her way, way off onto the deep end because Bonnie keeps saying, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Well,
really amazing, though. It's amazing. Like we did a couple of long sessions with Bonnie's course and everything, and some of the most magical stuff was learned, like unlocking dimensions within the chakras, and then certain attunements and stuff like that. Like I seen a really weird aspect with one eye, like an ET coming in, almost like a Cyclops looking thing. And Bonnie's like, yeah, I saw that too. That I didn't know who that was. And I was like, it's me somewhere else in the galaxy.
So cool.
Yeah. But like,
so cool.
The course is amazing, really magical, and highly recommend it for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also people who take the Reiki classes with me too. It's not regular. I mean, it is the Usuri Reiki. You get certified for that. But my guides and my angels and your guides and angels takes it to the level where you're at. So it's not a regular Reiki class either. So
in order to become one of the Ignite Quantum Healing practitioners, do they have to be Reiki? Do they have to take Reiki? And if they haven't, then you teach that part to them. Is that how that goes? And then you do your
because the Reiki kind of like opens you up to channel, especially if you've already had it, you don't need it. So it's kind of like classes that you'll take that will, it's almost more like mentorship, because it's classes that you'll take that will move you where you need to be.
So you'll assess them and you'll decide what each person needs to become a practitioner.
Well, I don't really have to assess them. Their guides will. Their guides will tell us what we need to do to get them where they need to be. Yeah. So it's not me doing the assessment, it's the guides. Yeah.
Jessie, what are you going to have planned for next year? Are you going to try to get some more orgone out there?
Yeah. Yep. I make orgone energy pieces. My business is Orgone Original Works. I
should create some art too.
A what?
You do create art as well, but like it all depends on your.
Yeah. I went to school for art. I paint and draw and all the things, but the spiritual type aspect of it, I would say, or healing type aspect, is the orgone energy pieces. I make all sorts of different shapes because I started with pyramids because it's standard, but then I got real kind of bored, and not exactly bored, but just how can we make things more fun?
Here's one of her pyramids right here.
I just had an idea, like, why is this the only shape? So I started making mermaids and unicorns and
dragons.
I had an idea of like, why should this just have to be stationary somewhere? Like, people should be able to wear them. So I make keychains and necklaces and stuff and things. I found it interesting over the past couple of years that I've been doing this, how many mothers come to me for help energetically
For their
with
children?
Yes, and that's always a very, very serious deal for me because I've dedicated my life to caring for children, and so that's something that I'm not sure why I'm bringing it up, but it's like that's just the amount of trust that someone must have to seek me out over someone else for their child is really humbling, and so that is something that happened this year that really made an impact on me, and not just one, enough people that I was like, that's not a fluke then if it's like, 10, or more, you know what I mean? So I take it seriously when someone comes to me to make a piece. I don't mess around with it, I tune in to their energy, and I
you
get
gave me a whole playlist when you made those dragons for me of songs that was coming to you. I thought that was so cool.
That was the first time it ever happened.
I sat all day just listening to those tunes.
That was so crazy, David. And I remember specifically messaging you being like, okay, so this probably seems nuts, but doesn't it all? So here we go. And I just was like, all right. So yeah, his dragon, your dragons like came with a playlist. That's basically
that literally rocks. I love that so much. I was like, yeah, that's so cool. I love my dragons.
And I think I found out later that you're a musician and it all made sense. So I'm like, okay.
And you didn't know that before. No, not
at the time. Not at the time. I'm always amazed when things match up afterwards, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's validating for me because I don't know anything. I just what comes, and I do the things, and later people are like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Oh, cool."
So if you're looking for an Oregon piece, Jessie does them by you just kind of like when somebody wants one, they just kind of.
I do have an Etsy shop, but I haven't kept up with it very well. I have a Facebook business page and an Instagram page, Oregon Original Works. Or you can just message me on Jessie May, or through the business page or whatever, or through here even. I also do oracle readings. Yeah.
We gotta do some more.
I also do Akashic reads too.
We gotta do some more oracle unity circle kind of things. We gotta do some more of them next year.
That'll be fun.
David, what do you have up your sleeve for next year?
It's gonna be a busy year. It's gonna be busy. I'm still working on the Divine Ray because 2022 will be the year of Divine Ray with the launch of the cryptocurrency and where it really becomes commercialized. And it's
going to be live. Are we going to be able to do live next year?
Yeah, it's just everything has to get upgraded onto these like super high end servers and everything. So it's expensive, but I have there's a thing in the works that sometime either in January or early February, it's going to just start taking off. And then apart from that, just traveling sacred sites and pumping out like just a ton of content. I'm supposed to be channeling like a whole segment on Unity and then 48 classes. Like it's just going to be nuts. So that's going to take like 6 months, twice a week.
Are you going to do them like where people come and do the masterclass, or are you just going to record them and put them up into your?
Yeah, it'll be like that. It's sort of like the sequel to the master classes is bringing back like Lumerian kind of Unity connections for like shape shifting and teleporting, and eventually, but there's interesting things as they started talking about like the Unity field and how you field mergings and stuff like what happened to us with Agartha. That was like the first experience of what they're going to be discussing, so it's interesting.
And how would somebody find you to be involved in all that, to like take your
right now in the works of making a website for all the content, but the just to message me on Facebook Messenger is the easiest.
Okay.
How about you, Robin?
How about me, Robin? Robin's going to do a lot this year with private sessions. I'm going to be creating oracle deck with my crystal gazing. You know how I do like the crystal gazing? I've started like actually creating an oracle deck that has like the different images of some of the crystal gazing images that I do, and I get into my sessions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be creating an oracle deck that everybody can get hopefully by the end of the year. And I'm working on a children's book, and that one I've still been working on it since like 2020. I have a little character that goes in and out of different portals, and people will be able to not only get the children's book, but they'll also be able to get their hands on the actual little portals. I don't know if I have any in my... I'll just put a couple up here. Like, they're little portals where the kids can actually paint. And so they'll be able to buy one of these little dream portals for their kids to paint. And like this one's a wizard world. And I have like about 10 different worlds where the kids can go into. And it's all going to be incorporated in my book. And then people just go to the website and they can click on and they can listen to the audio version, or they can actually get a physical book. And each, at the end of the night when the children go to bed, these are going to come into like a little boxes that kind of like stack up like a chest of drawers. And at nighttime, the children will be able to collect all the little portals. And at nighttime, the children will take out their little portal of what they want to go into whatever world, set it up next to their bed, then click on the audio of the story that goes to that world, and go to sleep. Cool. And the whole concept came up by when I had my youngest son. We used to always tell stories at nighttime, and I had asked him, "What portal do you want to go in tonight?" And he would tell me where he wanted to go, and then I would make up a story going into that portal, and then I'd say, "I'll meet you there in dream time." So that's hopefully I'm trying to get to the point where that'll actually be finished this year. And then I'm also I'm starting a masterclass, and that's starting on January 2nd of 2020, and I'm going to be 2022, and I'm going to be putting I'm doing them all. I've been guided to do them during the new moons there's 12 of them next year, and I'm going to be doing on the Sunday of the new moon is when I'm going to be doing the class. And it's called Bringing Forward the New Golden Age of Miracles. So if anybody's interested in the masterclass, you can either come to one class or you can come to all of them. And if you come to all of them and you pay up you pay up front, you get 2 classes free. So that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
That's pretty exciting.
Awesome. And you know what? I had a taste of one of her classes once because we did a Lemurian thing together, and I tell you what, it's really amazing. And if you guys get a chance to do it, you should really do it, because she just brings in things you wouldn't even imagine happens. It's just really magical. And
Well, not only that, it's like I think Robin's the first person that I've ever met that it brought in crystal gazing in using water back into the awareness. So like the stuff that like you're so connected with all the magic kingdoms, it's just unbelievable.
And I think
it's amazing.
It's just going to expand more and more now that like I started doing light language. That's also like coming in as well, and the channeling and everything that I'm doing is like at the beginning when I first started doing it, I used to have to write everything down that was coming through, and then I would have to read out like what was coming through. And now it's getting to the point where I can just directly channel, and I'm feeling a lot more connected. Like I feel connected all the time. Like I don't have to do anything to like get myself to where it is that we need to go. When I'm astral traveling, I'm just instantly there now. It's just
I think
amazing.
that's happened with all of us this year. We all because it's just really been amazing. It's been an amazing ride this year, and and it's been amazing to watch all of us grow together.
I think the hardest thing that I had to work on, it was the disempowerment to myself. And I had to get through that at the end. I think, let's knock on some wood, guys, that I finally got it. That I finally got it, that I have to empower myself. And that little kick up the butt that I got from Mr. COVID-19 really woke me up, and it made me really have to face my disempowerment before I was able to empower myself and actually say, you know what, I'm worth it. I'm worth like 20, they say 20 quid over here. I'm worth 20 quid. You know, like, and I'm worth it. So instead of like giving everything away, I'm finally at that stage where there's an energy exchange, and I think it's coming into more balance, and it's starting to kind of I think my content is even going to be much better because I'm empowered myself, and so it's going to come through a little bit more powerful when there's a little bit of balance in there, a little bit of energy exchange.
So,
what was your hardest lesson of 2021, Bonnie?
What is what?
Your hardest lesson.
Your hardest lesson of 2021.
My hardest lesson of 2021. It was to boundaries. It was boundaries, because I would never say no to anybody. I would just do, right. And I'd be so tired I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And I still have trouble with it, but I do a little better. I actually do a lot better, because I will say no if it's too much. And I will.
Mine was boundaries too, and codependency. I found that I was very codependent on. I would get into relationships with people, and I become very, very codependent, and have to. I don't know why. I would do that, and that was part of the disempowerment as well. Like getting rid of that codependency and learning how to totally and completely detach.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was actually mine too. Was letting go of outcomes and expectations.
That too.
Because I would be upset, like with Divine Ray's progress or this or that, and I know what has to happen, and I know what's going to happen. I know it's going to be very successful, and I just got to allow the space and allow it to happen, because it's all going to.
I think what we do. I even had the same issue there last night with my master class. Remember, Bonnie? And you just said you have to let it go. Like you be telling, your guides are telling you, they're bringing you forward to like do something, and you're seeing like the picture at the end, and you're thinking, how come these people aren't seeing this yet? And how come this isn't happening? I did everything like what they wanted me to do. I did everything that I was shown to do. I trusted, and like, how come it's not happening? Like, what is going on? And I think that a little bit of that happened with the Divine Ray. It was like, we were really excited about Divine Ray, and then it just kind of like plateaued. It started, and then it kind of like plateaued a little bit, and it's kind of like, how come people don't understand about this? and it's just going to take time. I don't think that I don't think that the world is ready for it fully yet. I think it.
Well, it's not ready fully either. You know, like, so it's. And the thing is, when you let go of the expectations, then you're not going to get disappointed at the end results of whatever happens. And then when you let go of the outcome, then you end up enjoying the moments of the creation, the moments, and that's truly all we really have, right?
Right
so
now,
you can not be disappointed and not be attached to an outcome. Then you're going to enjoy your life more. You're going to enjoy the moments. It doesn't matter what happens, because you're enjoying all of it, right?
And then before you know, you're going to just turn around when you're not even paying attention to it. You put it out there, you did what you did, and then before you know it, you'll turn around, and all of a sudden it'll be like, whoa, this is happening the way they said that it was going to happen.
Yeah. Once you stop paying attention to it, you stop slowing it down. You just let it go and be created, and then you're just like totally blown away by what happens next. You just have to be patient, but it's really hard for us because we just want to do and see the results. And it's not the way the world works.
It's like Fearless Bueller said, if you don't stop and smell the road, you just might miss it.
Yeah.
That happened to me when I started having to lose all that weight. When the doctor said you have to lose, like they're talking like 45 kg, which is like 80 pounds, and I'm just kind of like, holy cow! I'm looking at this whole thing, and I'm just like, and for the first like 3 weeks, I got into this like thing in my head that I had to like exercise 3 hours a day, and I had to like basically starve, and all this stuff was happening, and I was like, how come I exercised 3 times? I walked all the way down to the freaking swimming pool, I did the little exercise bike, I did the swimming, and then I walked all the way freaking home, and I was doing that for 3 hours, and there was nothing happening. And I would be like, for the first like 3 weeks, I get onto the scales and there was absolutely no difference, and I was just kind of like, oh my god, I can't keep this up every single day. And as soon as like all of a sudden, I think I had a dream or something, and I was being shown, there's turtle came in, or I know I was doing a channeling, and there was a turtle there in the channeling, and then they were like, slow and steady wins the race, and to just put your arrow out towards what you want, and then you don't need to obsess about it. And then as soon as I stopped obsessing, and then all of a sudden it started happening, and the pounds started coming off.
See, a lot of it it's shadow work. It has to do with your emotions and the way you're feeling about things, and not being able to let go of it and releasing it. It's all connected. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's all, but so I pulled a few cards for us to end on for the new year, and I got cleansing. So it's like I cleanse my soul in healing water. Aren't they beautiful?
What'd you say, Jess?
I said those are pretty. They're round. It's nice.
Yeah, and this is artwork by the person who wrote it, and it's all about cleansing yourself in cool, clean water. And then I also got visions, so really look into the visions of next year. Mm-hmm. It's safe to see me, to see others, and to delve in the fairy kingdom. So it's like, look at the magic around you and create with that. And the last one was receive. I allow myself to receive with grace and gratitude. I increase my ability to give to others. So it's the more you receive, the more you give. We get it backwards.
That's one of the hardest things
we have to give. But really, the more you receive, the more you can give. And
that is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah. And I thought it was cool while you guys were talking, and I was pulling the cards, and I was going, oh my gosh, it's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
Jesse, what was the one thing that you had the hardest thing to get through? Like, what was?
It's interesting because I could easily say boundaries, but I'm not quite sure that's it, because I think maybe last year was boundaries, is figuring out where my boundaries are. But then this year, which I did not realize was a lot harder than the boundaries, is maintaining those boundaries, because it's not just one and done, okay? It is like every time whoever comes at you with whatever, you're like, nope. And it's like, oh my God, this just never ends. And I don't think, no, it doesn't. So that's my conclusion. Yeah. It's like I had reached a point where my physical body, not just my brain being like, this isn't right. My whole body was like, if it would encounter something, my entire physical, everything would say no, which was very interesting to me. Like, I had no choice but to spit back out the stuff that I couldn't accept. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the coolest thing. That's, you know what that's from? That's because your body...
talking about like I could not physically do it. The things that I decided my boundaries were became like a brick wall, and it just like,
because really, you cognized it. So it wasn't acceptable any longer.
But on a different level completely, because mentally I'm very aware, intellectually super aware, but like I find there's sometimes a disconnect between my intellectual mind and my emotional whatever, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you can, your brain knows something, but like your heart's like not on the same page, and that's really rough. But then when they align, it's like, oh, okay, yep, here we go. And it's like, here we go, because now you just can't accept the things that before you knew you shouldn't be, but now you just actually can't. So that was my thing this year. And also the letting go of outcome expectations was really big. It wrapped itself together though, those two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
especially, and it's not just, yeah, I mean, and it floods out into every single thing you do, you know, if you're not in alignment with what you need, or you're letting
Well, I
things
mean, it
happen
goes to show that you did, when you've done it and you cognized it, your body won't accept anything less. So you've done the work. You just have to continue with what you started. And I think that was with me too, the whole year, having to continue to say, no, I'm only going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, but I will do this. You know, it's hard.
For me, it was maintaining of the boundaries that I already knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever end, but it does become easier because the more you maintain the boundaries, the more people or situations won't even approach you with the same kind of nonsense that they were coming at you with before. Eventually. Hold strong, peeps, because it'll shift. But like,
law of attraction, right? Because like there's certain people that have lessons, and if you can't teach it to them because you have boundaries, they're going to go to the next person that can.
Maybe us maintaining.
And have you noticed that you can feel other people's wounds now? Oh, I don't even mean to. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, that's like all of a sudden I could just feel their wound because I forgot to shield myself or something. You know what I mean?
Or, you know, you'll get this like wave of nausea or dizziness, and there's somebody in the room that feels that way, and you're like, whoa, that's just crazy. You know, you have to wrap yourself with the light, and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done that before. I'd say, did you just get dizzy? And they're like, yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, I just felt it too. It's crazy. We're going to unity consciousness, so it's it's just coming together. Anyways, guys, I
think it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap it up.
We've been on for an hour.
Unity bathroom.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
It's a blessing. The whole year was a blessing. And I just want to thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who came and spent some time with us, and everybody, the four of us here. I just love you guys all to pieces.
Love you guys.
And I just want to give gratitude to everyone.
Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year. Thanks to everybody who came on.
And we'll see more. We're gonna have more of this and more next year. So we're gonna expand as the year goes by.
Are you going to play us out on your masterclass?
You want me to?
You call that an intro?
Yeah, end it on that.
Okay, so I'm going to end it on my masterclass. I'm just going to click the screen here. So if anybody, it says at the end of this, it says to click on the link below. If you're looking to where the link is, just go to Rob and Nicole and you'll find it.
Happy New Year's!
Happy New Year!
A masterclass in 2022 called Bringing Forward the New Golden Age of Miracles. We will explore from the point of view from our multidimensional selves, including our Lemurian and Atlantean aspects, along with our galactic and elemental aspects, and with the help of Source Creator and the Source Crystals. The intention will be to heal our past aspects throughout time and space, where the divine masculine and feminine were not balanced, to begin to help all of our aspects in all directions of time and space to bring us on a new trajectory into a more balanced new golden age of miracles. Robin will also be using the Hermetic teachings from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Each class, Robin will take you on a guided astral travel meditation, channel a collective message, and use crystal gazing to bring forward a collective message like she did in the times of Lemuria as a high priestess. She will give a talk each month about whatever is coming through each month throughout 2022. To book your spot in the exciting new masterclass, click on the link below for more information.